Hello, in my previous two videos you saw my FFT code with Spectral Flux, and you saw the basic game mechanics that I'd set up. And this program is a combination of the two. So there's probably a lot of code that I'm not going to have to explain. At the moment I don't even need that line of code. There's probably quite a lot of redundant code in here that I'm not actually using. After this I'm going to try and set up a clean version where everything that exists is there for a reason, and I've also got to do some optimization and some tweaks in a later version. But for now this will do. There's a lot of stuff here, some variables you don't even need to know about. This is the beginning of things you need to know about. This is the delay, because obviously when I'm drawing notes on the screen, I don't want the music to be playing the second I start drawing notes. I want the song to be played once the note reaches the actual hitbox you're supposed to hit, so you're hitting the thing in time with the music. So that's what this delay is about. Weird thing in C++, when you're trying to get the size of an array, you can use the size of function. Delay is the name of my array, by the way. You can use the size of function to get how much memory is allocated to it, and then you have to divide that by the size of a double, because I've got an array of doubles. So if this was an array of integers, you'd need to divide it by size of int, which is weird. I don't know if there's an easier way to do it, but seems to be the main way people do it in C++, which is a bit more convoluted than I'm previously used to in Java, but you know, hey, it works, so I won't knock it. So I'm filling my delay array full of zeros. The size of the array is the length of the delay I want, and that's dependent on. I've hard coded in a number that seems to fit. I'm gonna obviously. There's probably some kind of equation depending on the distance from the top of the screen to where I first draw the note to the hitbox, the speed at which is moving, and the frame rate. I'm sure there's some equation I can work out from that to get, so it's perfectly on every time. But for now, this will do. I've gone over the track stuff. I've gone over all this sound stuff. There's a person blowing their horn loudly outside, which isn't helping. Track stuff, again, all the same. Apart from this, I've now got multiplier stuff. As well as the score, I've got a combo which keeps track of, how many you've hit in a row without missing one, and I've also got a multiplier. So if you get a combo greater than 10, if the combo is less than 10, so 0 to 9, you have a 1 times multiplier. So just one score, 1 point for each note you hit. If it goes above 10 and less than 25, it's 2 times. Above 25 is 4 times. Above 50 is an 8 times. And then that's it. You saw this stuff last time, but now, as well as having the just the score, I'm also displaying the combo and the multiplier on the screen, which you'll see when I run it. Yeah, no, that's just the score and multiplier stuff. And the new thing here, obviously I'm still doing the Spectral Flux, still doing the same thing, but now when I've detected a beat, rather than making the size of an ellipse, which was in my FFT code, I'm actually sort of creating a note object. I'm saying push back, obviously I create a new note object and then have it start scrolling down the screen. And here's where I bring in my delay, so I'm not playing the sample back at the exact same time as the program runs. I'm waiting for the note which it corresponds to reach the hitbox. So I'm saying, I had a lot of help with Mick Grierson from this. I was really, really stuck on it, and then in the end I was like, oh, this is really easy and I'm stupid. But so I got this working. So it says delayed sample, which is just a sample is the name of the float that I'm reading into. I don't think I need that at all. That line of code is not necessary. Get out of here. I think that's from an old bit of code I was doing. So sample is basically the song, and the FFT does the process on that. And then the delayed sample is I'm getting the position from the delay array, which was filled with zeros, if you remember. So the delay position at the start is 0. I'd set that up in setup, and then I play that to the output, what this line is doing. And then I fill that position with the sample. So and then I add 1 to position, and if the delay position gets greater than the delay array, I set it back to 0. So basically this is iterating through my delay array, and it's acting as a buffer. So the first time you play through it, it's all zeros, but as soon as it's played out the first 0, it then fills in, it gets the value from the sample and puts it into the array, so it does all the zeros, and then by the time it comes back again, it's now from the start of the song, and it's got this buffered delay, so it's always like 3 seconds behind, so it's in time with the notes crossing the hitbox. I hope I explained that well. And the rest of it's the same. The rest of it's saying, oh, this is slightly different. I'm saying if you hit it, you get in, rather than just getting the score plus plus, you get the score plus equals 1, because 1 is what you get for every note, times the multiplier, which is depending on your combo, and your combo goes up. Where do I have? I forgot to mention here. I'm saying if you miss a note, so the note counts as missed if it goes. I think here I've just done a quick botch. So I'm saying if it goes off the screen, it means you've missed it. So set the combo to 0. In this case, it might be a bit weird if you have 2 notes in quick succession, because you'll obviously, one will go off the screen, but another one's, if you miss one, it will be past the hitbox, but it will be going towards the end of the screen. And if there was another quickly following it up, you'd still get the combo counting for that one if you hit it. So obviously, I've got a lot of tweaks to do, but this is sort of the bare bones of it working. So I'll play it now. I've got everyone's favourite drum beat. I hope that line of code I deleted doesn't break everything. No, see, there. You'll see the song didn't play until the note, which was corresponding to the beginning of it, actually came into contact with the hitbox area, which is obviously what I want. So these notes are being generated by the drum beat that's going on in the background. You can play along. I'll just hold it down so you can see as the combo goes up, the multiplier goes up, and obviously your score increases thusly. So you can get 4 times the multiplier if it's above 25. I've already explained all this. So yeah, this is the bare bones of the game working. There's quite a bit of stuff I need to do yet. I need to figure out, I'm doing some statistic stuff, because at the moment I'm still having to mess about with the weight and the threshold depending on what song I'm bringing in. So I want to do some statistical mean, mode, average kind of stuff, so I get a general. Basically it's like if I'm getting so many notes, set the threshold to a certain level, or set the weight to a certain level. I don't quite know what I'm doing at the moment. I've been recommended a book by Mick Grierson to read, the introduction on statistical analysis, so I'll get into that. I also want to get some kind of scoring function at the end, so obviously that I was just looping a very short combo, a very short drum loop. But when it gets to the end, I want to give some kind of star rating. I want to say, okay, this is your highest combo. This is how many notes you scored out of a possible, how many there were. This is your overall score, which is obviously the score times the multiplier as it was happening. And here's your star rating. I don't quite know how I'm going to do a star rating at the moment. I guess it's going to be a combination of how many you hit out of how many was possible, and maybe bring in the combo to it. I don't know, I'll have to think about that, because obviously all these kind of music rhythm games give you a star rating at the end. Also, things like menus. I have to bring in a menus. The pause menu is the thing I want to bring in first, because obviously you want to pause it if you're doing it, and I want to do a similar thing to the later Rock Band and Guitar Heroes, where if you paused, it would, when you came back into the game, rather than shoving you straight back into it, which was a bit disorientating if you were through like a really complicated part of the song, it sort of rewinds it back 3 seconds, and obviously all the notes you've hit and stay hit, so they don't appear, but it'll sort of rewind back a few seconds to give you time to go back into it. I'll see how hard that turns out to be. It's not a major trying to get it work. And obviously I want the ability to, I've got there's a video coming up after this where I show it working on the iPod Touch, my iPod Touch. I've got it running on the iOS simulator, but I don't think there's any point in showing you that, because it's literally the exact same thing as this, but with a different song and running in like a simulator on the Mac. So I'd rather show you actually running on my device. So that's the next video. But I obviously want to get the ability to, rather than just telling it what song to pick here, I obviously want it to give the ability to, once you run the app on your device, it says, okay, pick a song from your iTunes library that's on the device. I'm going to have to look into how to do that. Hopefully it's not too difficult, but I haven't actually looked yet. So there's quite a lot of stuff I've got to do. As I said, the next video will be me playing on my iPod Touch, so you can look forward to that. And then I guess I'll update in just a quick text blog post what I'm doing from there on. But that was it for now. Thanks for watching.